Don't ask me to talk.
From the sublime to the ridiculous.
Join me, Stacy Heller,
And me, Eric Ryder.
as we talk about what's good to watch, read, see, listen to, and more.
An edutaining 1-hour break in your day that includes the segment, What Are We Eating? Sponsored by Dingfelder's Delicatessen.
Stick with us for something good. Welcome to Don't Ask Me to Talk on Kixie 880 AM, a show that's basically about whatever we think is good enough to share with the world, because honestly, good stuff should be shared. I am Stacy Heller. I'm joined by my co-host.
Hey, it's me, Eric Ryder.
I love that you can hear the smile in your voice when you say that. I'd like to say it's just like your experience being a radio guy, but like you can hear like the smile.
I'm always happy to be here with you every Thursday, talking about good stuff. So, of course, I'm smiling.
You're too sweet. So hello to everybody that is listening. Thanks to those that are listening live. Thanks to those that listen to the podcast. A reminder that you can listen to the podcast, whatever platform that you enjoy. It is Don't Ask Me to Talk. You can even type in the acronym DAMTT, which is not a bad word. It is just left of a bad word, or right, depending on which way you go. You can also check out my show, Stacy Connects, which is on our sister station, KKNW. It airs Tuesdays from 3 to 4. Subscribe to both shows. Share them, review them, comment. To connect to directly with Eric or myself, you can text or call 475-999-2726, or in the words of Eric,
that's 475-999-2RAM.
You're switching it up on me.
Well, every time we're trying a new one. One of these is really going to stick, I think, and then we'll go with that, for every future show. But in the meantime, we got to try them all out and see how they roll off the tongue, do they stick in people's brains, etc.
All right. So then maybe that's where our listeners can come in and give us some feedback. So if you text us or call us at, say it again,
ISL 99 Warco.
Okay, that one seems complicated.
All right, 475-999 Bran.
Yeah, I'm kind of a fan of the Bran one. But, then I feel like I need to create another acronym that Bran stands for. And I don't know, that seems like a lot of work. Anyway, call us and text us because we would love to get that feedback. So we actually have a guest in studio, which I am super excited about. Last week, we picked on the Wheelo topics, entertainment, like TV and movies and that kind of thing. And naturally, the person that came to mind is my friend, Cherry O'Neill. Hello, hello.
Hello. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Face to face.
I know, right? Oh, my gosh. It's so nice to see you. So Cherry, she is an author. She is a coach. She has a business, Active Transformation. She works with clients on really creating an, dare I say it, act of transformation. Hey, look at that. Too good. And she is also, I will go ahead and say it, like an entertainment expert, because this is a woman that watches a lot. And it's not like, oh, she doesn't have a life and she's just sitting at home. I mean, I don't want to paint that picture. It's like you're a connoisseur of like quality arts. Like Cherry is my buddy that when she has a ticket to go see a show, or if I have a ticket to go see a show, I'm like, hey, want to go and do this? And I love that. Mm-hmm. We have so much fun. And so you are just always like, this is interesting. This looks good. You don't limit yourself by like, oh, I like rom-coms, or, oh, I like a documentary.
No, not at all. I like pretty much everything. I might not into be, war historian stuff. I'll leave that to another friend of ours. But
yeah, right. Yeah. JD can tell us about how it is.
Right.
And do you think that, Cherry O'Neill, she is Cherry Boone O'Neill. So she is the child of a icon. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Pat Boone is an icon.
He was neck and neck with Elvis there for many years. In fact, I think he still holds the record for having a song on the top, on the charts for the most consecutive weeks ever, like 250 some odd weeks in a row or something. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And you're a talent in your own. I mean, it's kind of tricky, and this is not why you're here to talk about this. We could talk about this on another show. But between being part of the Boone family and your sister Debbie, do you think that your interest in all of this, like entertainment and arts, is because of that?
I'm not sure. I've always been interested in the power of storytelling. Whether it be written, television, film, whatever. And that might be because of, the fact that I grew up in a family where entertainment and movies and that kind of storytelling were a part of our lives. But then again, maybe I would have been drawn towards that anyway. I don't know. But I've had a front row seat to a lot of it, which has been kind of fun.
Yeah. Well, and dare I say it, and I don't think I'm saying anything out of turn, your varied interests probably far outsize the exposure that you would have had, otherwise. I mean, because your dad is, conservative Christian, and so you are like, well, maybe let me check this out, let me check that out, like,
right?
It's a way to expand your worldview, right?
Well, and I appreciate talent. I might not always appreciate the message that comes with the talent, but I appreciate talent in whatever form it comes. I have always appreciated the ability of Eminem. I might not agree with all of his song lyrics,
right?
But I appreciate his abilities and his talent. And when my kids were young enough, were starting to get old enough to figure out who their grandfather was, they tried to understand how he was so famous, what scale his fame was. And I used to say to him that Daddy Pat, that's what they call him, Daddy Pat and Elvis were kind of like Justin Timberlake and Eminem. It was the parentally approved version of the, rock star or pop star, and the one that the parents kind of looked askance at.
Interesting. And then look what happened to Justin Timberlake. But that is a very good, that's a good sort of comparison,
right,
for reference.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of talent, this is going a little off to the side, but Eric, you might appreciate this. So I got into a wormhole, aka an internet spiral, where I was checking out something with Dave Grohl, and then you end up getting all of these suggestions for videos, and then he apparently had a drum off with this 11-year-old girl, Nandi Bushell. And have you heard about this, Eric?
Yeah, I think I saw the video at one point.
So I will tell you, she then, now I then had to follow that thread because, hello.
Right.
And she posted on her YouTube channel this thing that she did with Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And I don't remember the gentleman's name, but he is apparently in like the I don't know what his name is. He's in like the Ringo Starr band or something.
Okay.
All-Star band.
Yeah, that one. See, she knows everything. Anyway, she's there.
Was it Zach Starkey, perchance?
It's not, because that is his son.
Yeah. And he plays drums in Ringo Starr's band usually.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look up who it was.
Okay. Not important.
Is it a drummer?
It was a drummer.
Not Greg Bissonette, is it?
I think that's who it is.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Look at her.
I happen to know him because he's a Christian, and so he kind of knows my dad and has been along in some of those circles. And I've met him before.
Be who it is.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so it was on, I think, Chad Smith's show or something. And so there's this 11-year-old girl behind her drum kit, and the two of them flanking her, and they're trying to show her stuff. And first of all, her knowledge of music is crazy. And then her talent is crazy. And I mean, just truly a prodigy. And I have to say, like, if I was going to be a prodigy, like a drummer, I mean, like cello and violin, and that's all great and like very, I don't know, it feels kind of refined and whatever. But like a drummer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, and she plays a bunch of other instruments too.
Wow.
But and she's barefoot and, she's behind this drum kit and she is just watching them and they're showing her these different techniques and these different parts of songs and they're referencing these things and she is just keeping right up.
Wow.
It was really cool.
Did you know that there's a drum fill?
A drum fill?
A drum fill. Like
fill.
a fill between, bars of music that's called Pat and Debbie Boone.
Really?
It follows the rhythm of their name, Pat and Debbie Boone.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
That's cool.
Which I love this part of the show because it is like squirrel central. So speaking of that, there is a restaurant that for my son's birthday back in May, I was trying to find a place for him to go and he's in California and I was like, well, I'll pay for you to go someplace different. And he loves a burger. So doing some research, one of the suggestions was this place called Brown Chicken Brown Cow. So when I looked that up, it turns out that is the Brown Chicken Brown Cow, and that's what that's named after, like the boom chicken now, like. And I was like, wait, that's a thing. So the Pat and Debbie Boone,
yes,
and the Brown Chicken Brown Cow. It's true.
Drummers are weird.
I don't know about that.
Look it up. Look it up. I'm not even kidding. I was like shocked on Urban Dictionary. When you go to Urban Dictionary, you don't typically want to know what they have to say because it is.
Now, Urban Dictionary, those definitions are usually someone having some fun. So
okay, but
I don't know if you can really trust that as a source.
That sounds right. It sounds like something I've heard before, and I know for a fact that the Pat and Debbie Boone drum fill is a real thing. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that. The bomb chicka bow wow thing, I don't quite, because I believe that is basically someone's interpretation of porno music from the 70s with the wah-wah guitar, the wow, 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 but trying to vocalize that. And so I think that's really where that comes from rather than saying a restaurant name.
Obviously.
No, the
restaurant is
named
taking
after
advantage of, and it came from a Trace Adkins song that he recorded back in 2011. That is the play on the boom chicka now now.
Yeah.
But I think but the restaurant clearly was trying to
playing
be
on that.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying the restaurant is named after
this like sound,
people
like
saying that.
Yeah,
okay.
like the Pat and Debbie
I thought you were
Boone.
saying that
No.
people saying that was because of the restaurant.
No.
So I was
Other
just
way
confused.
around.
All
Yeah,
right.
other way around.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So
I believe it.
But that's onomatopoeia, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like when a word sounds like whatever.
Right.
And in the drumming YouTube video that I watched, what was cool is the one person. What did you say his name was?
Greg Bissonette.
Yeah, I think that's who it was.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying to her, if you can say it, you can drum it.
Mm.
And so being able to think about, can you say it?
Right.
And even if it's like pow,
yeah,
like if you can do that, then you can drum it.
Interesting.
I thought that
so
was interesting.
the speech patterns and the kind of the hand-eye coordination that makes sense to me.
Yeah, right? I mean, I don't know. So today, Thursday, June 2nd, there are certain holidays that we must celebrate and acknowledge. For instance, National I Love My Dentist Day.
Well, we both know the dentist that I have recently been in the chair of, and will be again soon for an implant.
Yeah, I have my first appointment with him. I think it's tomorrow. I should probably check that and brush my teeth.
I have. Now, most people will tell you they dread having a root canal. This was, I fell asleep.
You're weird. That's because you're watching movies.
At 2 a.m., right?
At 2 a.m. Eric, do you like going to the dentist?
No, but but I did have a really nice dentist, and he retired last year. Excuse me. So I'm kind of looking out for a new dentist.
I mean, do you mind coming this way?
He was in Renton. I live in Tacoma, so it was like kind of out of the way, but on the way to work. So
Dr. Brad Judy on Mercer Island.
Oh, that's nearby, so that could work.
Yep. I will let you know.
I'll have to check if he accepts my insurance or not, because that's always a sticking point.
That is always a sticking point. But, we love our dentists, and so we'll share them with you.
Right.
It is also National Rotisserie Chicken Day.
Oh.
I mean, okay, have you ever been to Boston Market?
Yes.
Right? Okay, have you?
No.
Okay. Is it a regional thing?
You know what?
They
I don't
did
know.
have them out here.
Yeah.
There was one in Tacoma, but I feel like it was one of those chains that blew up and was everywhere and then contracted severely. So now they're down to core locations because for a while they were huge, but then people kind of stopped going for some reason.
I was having this conversation with my son, Will, actually, and we were talking about rotisserie chicken, and he's like, was it a fever dream that we used to eat at Boston Market when we lived in Connecticut? I'm like, no, it wasn't, because it was, I could get a great kids meal, and if, Dad was working late or I had to feed you guys early, the food was good, you liked it, the whole thing. And he's like, where did they go? And I wondered aloud if the reason that they're not around as much is because now more people are doing rotisserie chicken. I mean, I don't feel like
Costco might have put them out of business.
I mean, honestly, there's just not enough chicken for like Costco and Boston Market.
I know my chicken. You got to know your chicken.
What is that? Oh my gosh, you're ridiculous. I mean, okay, today is also, now this is a little bit unique. It is the trooping of the color today. Do you know
what does
that
that
is?
mean?
Well, Eric, I'm glad you asked. You're like, yeah. Trooping of the color is actually the thing where it happens in England, and the Queen, all of the various troops, they all come out and they like walk by, and it's the thing that they all stand on the balcony, and it's like, yep, you look good. Excellent. Good job.
Hello.
Exactly.
Hello.
I mean, that is exactly it, and yet not at all. I mean,
That was my impression of the Queen.
That was good, though.
It sounded kind of like Julia Childs a little bit, too.
It did.
Well, they're one and the same, aren't they?
I mean, kind of. Have we ever seen them in the same room?
She was the queen of cooking on TV.
Right.
This
There
is
we
true. Now all I can hear is bon appetito. Okay. The trooping of the color is this, let me see. I'll find it here. It is the official birthday of the British sovereign for over 260 years as we go. It is held at the palace annually on the second Saturday of June. And it's a 2-century-year-old impressive display of potentry in a grandiose parade on the Queen's troops. So for those of you that are Anglophiles, or perhaps you are transplants, or perhaps you're listening, happy trooping the color.
All right. Just one question. Did you say it was the second Saturday of June?
Well, it can't be because today's the 2nd.
Well,
So the actual ceremony happens
okay.
on the second Saturday, but I guess like there's an actual day.
Okay.
And so that's today.
Okay. Because I was wondering how it could be the second day of June and the second Saturday of June, but just minor details.
Why are you asking me these questions? I'm not good at details.
Because I'm curious.
Well, you know what? Asking questions, it's so funny because the kids used to watch Sesame Street videos, and there was one of the videos where Elmo would say, asking questions is a good way to find things out, in his like slightly New York accent. And my husband and I would joke behind the scenes, like, asking questions is a good way to get your head handed to you. Because, there's frankly at times nothing more annoying than questions,
Right.
which is typically bedtime.
Especially if you ask the wrong person on a New York City street.
I mean, exactly. Have you gone to the palace?
Actually, I've been a sightseer in England. My dad was making a movie when I was 8 years old. And we, rather than him going and being away from the family for 3 whole months, we moved and stayed in a rented house in England and did our classes in the morning, kind of, homeschool style, and then did sightseeing in the afternoon. So we got to go see Buckingham Palace and, the Tower of
That's
London.
cool.
And yeah, it was amazing. It was a great experience.
Yeah, that's a great education.
Yeah.
Eric, have you been?
Several times, not to the palace, but to the UK for sure.
I went for the first time a couple years ago when Will did an internship for the summer in England, and it was really cool. It's a cool city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the food was a little.
Well, you got that's the thing. People always say that English food is bad, but I feel like if you know people there, if you get the locals
Yes.
take on stuff, you'll find really good food, actually.
Yes. And that is what Will was saying to us, having spent the summer there. He's like, if you're looking for like the traditional, peas and, whatever, then you can find that. But like, by the way, just like the United States, just like other countries and metropolitan places, like there's a whole bunch of really interesting types of food
Right.
and influences.
Definitely.
So
Yeah.
I was acting like a child. It's what I do. It's what I do best. Okay. I think those are the only national days that were worth talking about. So why don't we take a break here? And then what we'll do is we will come back and we will talk with Cherry O'Neill. And we're going to talk about things that we need to see. And Cherry, she has a lot of picks.
She's going to cherry pick some choices for us.
Yes, she is. All right. Keep
Fantastic.
listening to Don't Ask Me to Talk with Stacy and Eric. Stacy Connects. It's not just my business, it's my superpower. Whether you need the right tone and messaging for a new venture or you've plateaued with your current one, I can help. I connect clients with themselves and their potential. Then I identify unique solutions that translate your brand into messaging that connects your target audience with your business. Go to stacyconnects.com to connect with me and your messaging.
Interested in learning something new? Meeting someone new? Find out things that we have in common? Well, of course you are. You're a human being. So let's get intentional about it. Join me, JDK Winnikin, every week and get all of that in less than an hour. I'm a writer, a historian, a social commentator, and my show is all about you. Really, that's what it's called. This show is all about you. Get my perspectives on the week's news and hear fascinating guests whose stories will inspire and move you. My show is all about giving you something that connects us. Join me Mondays on Kixie 880 at 3 p.m. or download it as a podcast.
Can't get enough of Stacy and Eric? Then be sure and check out Stacy Connects with Stacy Heller wherever you find podcasts. Stacy chats with guests about a variety of topics, hoping to make a connection through conversation.
Welcome back to Don't Ask Me to Talk with Stacy and Eric. So we have a guest today in studio, Cherry Boone O'Neill, and we have spent some time talking about Cherry and her love of the arts and entertainment, as well as her experience in the arts and being an entertainer. We also talked about the important National Rotisserie Chicken Day. I mean, I'm just saying. But now let's get to our weekly topic, which is must-see movies. Now, because we can go really big here, let's focus on things that we can stream so that people that maybe can't go to the movies for some reason, uptick in COVID and just general costs a lot of money and whatever. So, Cherry,
Yes.
I'm going to let you steer the ship
Oh, goodness.
because I suspect that you have seen a lot. So what are some movies that you have streamed recently that have been a surprise to you that you've really liked?
Let me see. Well, I loved, I mean, it's not anything new. My dad actually did this on stage for a summer, but the new version of West Side Story,
I haven't seen that.
I enjoyed it. I mean, I loved the original. I actually have a connection to the original because my dad's best friend was married to one of the dancers in the original movie.
Oh, okay.
And she and her husband ended up working with and for our family for a long time. She became our choreographer when we would do
so
TV
cool.
specials and stuff. And she also has done stage direction and stuff like that. She's a very prolific woman. But so West Side Story was definitely one that I loved. Very familiar with the story. A few nuances that were different, that were changed, but for the most part, very true to the original. And I loved the fact that the people that were playing the main parts were not people that we already knew.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they could have picked any number of people, but these were lesser known artists and very talented and very capable of filling the shoes in those roles. And I love the fact that Rita Moreno, who was
Right.
originally in the first movie, also got to be in this most recent iteration, and in a different role, of course, but brought something very dear and authentic to the role.
Well,
So.
because it feels like it's a seal of approval or something.
Right.
The
yeah.
fact that she signed on enough to say, yes, I will participate in this. Was it Steven Spielberg that directed it?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean that. Yeah.
And I think he said he will never do a musical again. But he did it proud. I mean, all things considered, I think he really did a great job. And having become very familiar with that play while my dad was doing it for one entire summer, I kind of knew what to look for. And except I was young enough. I think I was maybe 11 or 12 when my dad did an entire summer of playing Tony, and this is ironic and kind of typical of my parents and their worldview. But when we would get to the part where Anita was being roughed up and ostensibly raped in this, in the diner or whatever it is, we knew that was coming, and my mom would stand us girls, me and my three younger sisters, and we would walk out of the theater. But then we'd walk back and sit down just in time to see our dad get shot. So, or knifed or whatever it was. It was not okay to see maybe a rape or a sexual assault, but it was okay to watch our dad get murdered.
She was like, by the way. Oh, that's funny.
It is.
Oh my gosh. What an interesting twist on that.
Right.
Eric, have you seen either of them?
Actually, I have not. So I'll put these on the list.
It's interesting. As a kid, I remember, back when there was 3 stations that you could watch. There was Channel 11, and Channel 11 on Saturdays and Sundays always had older movies. And so I would watch so many of these movies. And so I got to see a lot of musicals and stuff for the first time because it was on Channel 11. And I remember West Side Story and, the songs and all the snapping.
Right.
And
when you're a jet.
Exactly. I mean, I still remember it.
Yeah.
You're the jet to the last from your first cigarette to your last dying day. I mean,
You're a jet all the way.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what it is.
rhymes.
Well, yeah. Okay.
I have seen the original of West Side Story. I wasn't sure that we needed a remake, but I hear good things about the remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was remarkably true to the original and yet different enough that it wasn't like you were watching a rerun,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. All right. What's another one? What's kind of a popular one that you have found surprising depth in?
Let's see. Well, The Power of the Dog was one. I think it might have just been on Netflix, but it was
Jane Campion.
Yes, and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Mm-hmm.
And I was Jesse Plemons and Kirsten Dunst, who are married in real life, got to play together in this film. And I thought she did a surprisingly, not that she's surprising as a good actress, but deeper than I have seen her do in other roles. And, it dealt with some taboos that would have existed in the Old West and still do, because it had to do with this cowboy who had a leaning towards homosexuality, and or at least dressing, cross-dressing, and that kind of thing.
Right.
And so there was a lot of that kind of dancing around the taboos, but also he was kind of a bully. So he was very much trying to cover up what he knew would not be accepted in that day and age and that culture. And I thought it was really well acted. And
Well, it's always the bully that bullies.
right, yeah,
Or the bullied that bully.
right, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I haven't seen that one either. I
Mhm.
feel like I haven't seen anything. Okay. All right, so that's good. What is a popcorn movie? You know what I mean by that?
Mm-hmm.
That you really enjoyed.
A popcorn movie. Let me see, man.
You mentioned Ambulance.
Right, it's a Michael Bay film, so there's lots of action, and that's new. It's on demand right now, with Jake Gyllenhaal,
Mhm.
who I think is good in pretty much anything he does. But I also have the connection of being able to say that he and his sister went to the same school. Well, he went to the boys' version and she went to the girls' version, but then they merged. So I can still claim them as from my alma mater. I went to Westlake School for Girls, and I think it might have already been merged as Harvard Westlake by the time that Jake and Maggie went there. But
Interesting.
yeah.
I mean, they are also part of Hollywood royalty.
Yeah, right. And did you know that they are the godchildren of Jamie Lee Curtis?
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Interesting.
So yeah. So there's a lot of
I always think about the
connections
whole
there.
godparent thing. Like, I remember, this is a not surprising, it's me, a segue. In the movie Truth or Dare that Madonna did
Mm-hmm.
ages and ages ago, there is, her relationship with Warren Beatty at the time and, all that stuff. And there's a moment when a friend from, growing up asks her to be the godmother of her child.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't show the answer and, whatever.
Yeah.
It must be an interesting thing. Like, if you become famous, I mean, in this case, Maggie and Jake were, again, they're part of a Hollywood legacy.
Right.
If you don't know who their parents are, look it up and you can get the story. It's too long for now. And so that's different. But if, like, you become famous, it's like, oh, hey, like, let me cling on to you. And
Right. Yeah.
it's got to be tricky having any kind of fame or notoriety.
It can be, because I think you are, often asking, what is the attraction to me as a person, or is it to me because of, is it kind of value by association kind of thing? So
Anyway, all right, off track. Okay, so Ambulance, Michael Bay movie, which I then always put him with, isn't he the Transformers movies?
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
most of his stuff isn't critically acclaimed, but
Right.
people are saying that Ambulance is a real, action masterpiece, if you will.
Interesting.
It was very, it was a little longer than, the typical time that you go and watch a movie. My husband Dan and I just watched it last night.
Okay.
And Dan is not a night person, and he stayed up past his bedtime to watch
Okay.
to watch the end of that. So yeah.
Well, and that's an interesting choice for Jake Gyllenhaal
Mm-hmm.
to do that, because although I will say that he's a little bit schizophrenic in the choices that he makes.
Yeah.
I mean, from the John Mulaney lunch kids special,
Right.
playing Mr. Musica,
Right.
to all the other things that he's done.
Right.
He really runs the gamut,
Right.
which I suppose is a good thing because you cease to recognize him in his roles.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, for him to kind of play a bad guy in this one was a bit of a surprise because you usually think of him as playing, like a hero and not necessarily. Although Donnie Darko, that was he was a little bit deranged.
a little bit.
But he was the hero of that story. But he
Right.
was in the second to last Spider-Man. He played Mysterio. He was the villain of the movie.
There you go. Yeah.
Wasn't there Night
he can do it.
Stalker or something?
Oh,
yes,
that's
and
right.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah,
he
that
lost
was-
a lot of weight for
He
that.
was good. He was really good in that.
That was creepy.
Yeah.
So apparently,
So maybe I think maybe he likes to
Kind of an anti-hero in that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And I think he likes to broaden the spectrum of the different kinds of roles that he plays. So, and I appreciate that about an actor that's willing to not always play the kind of stereotypical thing that feels comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay. Eric, have you watched anything recently?
Oh, tons of stuff.
All right. So share.
Well, you restricted this to streaming, but I was going to say that I just saw the new Doctor Strange movie.
Oh, well.
Multiverse of Madness.
It's our show,
in
Eric.
the theater
We get to do what we want. It's our show.
for the second time.
Oh.
And it was even better the second time. So that 2 thumbs up from me on that one.
Okay.
Very enjoyable. Lots of surprises, so I won't give any spoilers. But if you like the Marvel films, you will like this movie.
Now, let's say you like them, but you don't necessarily follow them all because there's a whole way that you're supposed to watch them to understand this with that. Can you still just go and enjoy it as a...
I think so. I think it's, the visuals are really mind-blowing. Sam Raimi directed this one, and of course, if you know Sam Raimi's work, it's got all his hallmarks in it. So, he directed those first 3 Spider-Man movies that came out in early 2000s. And he, the Evil Dead stuff and Darkman and a whole bunch of stuff. So he knows what he's doing when it comes to, comic book movies. And he's taken everything that was good, I think, about all that stuff and just crammed it into this. And it's something to behold.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's Benedict Cumberbatch.
And Benedict Cumberbatch, yeah.
Yep.
Say that 3 times fast.
I almost said Cumberbun, which I'm sure he's had plenty of.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Okay. Any other ones that you're like, ooh?
I subscribe to a podcast called Unspooled, and this is a film podcast. And the first season of that is all them watching every single one of the AFI Top 100 movies.
Wow.
And, I went through there and looked at the list, and I realized I haven't seen maybe 80 of the movies that are on the AFI Top You Must Watch This list. Yeah. So I've been kind of, with all the streaming options, been going back and checking out a lot of these movies that I hadn't seen before. And I saw Singing in the Rain for the first time.
Oh, wow.
And I actually really enjoyed it.
It's so good.
I'm not a musical kind of person usually. And, a bunch of bright colors and singing just growing up did not appeal to me. But I got to say, it's a great movie. It's very fun.
It's, first of all, a couple points on that movie. The fact that Debbie Reynolds was 18 when she did that.
Yeah.
I mean, with this giant, and not literal giant, but
I mean Grace Kelly.
Gene Kelly.
Gene Kelly. Yeah, exactly.
And he was
That guy.
an exacting. Yeah, clearly you're a big fan of musicals. But he was so exacting in what he wanted, and she did it, and then.
And the story makes no sense, by the way.
Story.
But the performances and the direction really make it.
Oh, and the make 'em laugh scene.
Is it Danny Kaye?
Danny Kaye.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a genius. Was a genius.
Here's a fun thing. If you're a fan of Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he did a version of that, I think, on SNL.
I think I remember that.
And he has that same, he reminds me of Danny Kaye in that they have this elasticity about their talent,
Mm-hmm.
and like he's very physical in the things that he does, and but I loved that scene. And then that fun fact that isn't really a fun fact anymore because everybody knows it, that Gene Kelly was actually quite sick when he had a bad cold when he was singing or doing the Singing in the Rain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so
The show must go on.
the show must go on. Well, good for you. I'm looking at the list myself, and I have to say I have only seen 2 out of the top 5.
Which were
I've seen Casablanca and I've seen Singing in the Rain. I haven't seen Citizen Kane. Well, I've sort of seen The Godfather, or Raging Bull.
yeah.
Ooh,
There's
wow.
there's plenty on this list that I still need to see.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't necessarily think that I agree with that these are the top 100 movies of all time, and it's taste. Everybody has different tastes, so a lot of these may not appeal, but enough people decided that these movies were worth checking out that I think it's a worthwhile exercise if you're a movie buff to check out a lot of these.
And I don't know who makes the decision on who gets on those
Right.
lists, but if it's other people in the movie industry, then that's, you kind of have to sit up and take notice.
Yeah.
If they're the ones that are voting for it. then-
Yeah, the American Film Institute, and I'm not sure who all their members are, but clearly they've spent a lot of time thinking about film. So,
Right. Yeah.
Well, and I suspect that a lot of these are based on there was something that was new and different.
Mhm.
And, something that hadn't been seen before cinematically in the storytelling, the acting, the topic, whatever it is. I'm going through this and I'm like, I'm with you. I thought I had seen a lot of movies. I mean, not recently, but I'm like, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. Yeah, there's
So I watched the Maltese Falcon again not too long ago because I had seen it a long time ago, but I couldn't remember much of anything about it. But it was really cool to kind of revisit it in the context of it's in these top 100 movies, and yeah, that was fun. And one thing I discovered is that there had been like 3 or 4 versions of the Maltese Falcon that were made before the hit version, and very different. And none of them successful.
that's interesting.
So, considering it was like a 10-year period for them to be that many adaptions of it, and then one of them just stuck, it's really kind of interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
But I think Bogart was the magic ingredient that they needed.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, Bogart. I mean, come on. Yankee Doodle Dandy is on here, and that movie, my
I'm
dad.
probably not going to watch that.
Okay, so my dad, who was not into musicals at all, he actually really loved that. He loved James Cagney.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Interesting.
he was like, James Cagney,
Yeah.
like in a musical. And he thought it was great.
Yeah.
So who knows? You
Right.
never know.
Well, and you don't see the kind of musicals today that they made, back then. Although I must say, In the Heights was kind of harkened back to that. I'm a big Lin-Manuel Miranda fan. I think he's a genius. Hamilton was unparalleled.
Yeah. I mean,
but yeah, seeing those kind of old musicals that have bright colors and really trained dancers, and it's a spectacle, and of course it's not true to life. You don't typically, unless you are doing flash mobs every day, you're not going to see that,
right.
But if you can suspend disbelief and get into the the genre.
Well, and to that end, I mean, I've thought about, a soundtrack for your life, right?
Mhm.
And the fact that there is music so often going on in our lives, listening to the radio, or, singing in the shower, or something that, you pick the mood or whatever it is. And so I've always felt like it's as if this moment is in suspended disbelief, right? And then the singing parts are sort of acting out all the emotion and the energy of that.
Right. Well, I will recommend to you a new musical I mean, it's new to film. It was on the stage for a while. Tick, Tick, Boom.
Oh,
Who knew Andrew Garfield had such a great singing voice? I mean, he does everything else pretty well. But I was really impressed with that. I know that it maybe wasn't as critically acclaimed as I think it might have deserved, but I enjoyed every minute of it. I even enjoyed the kind of reverie scene where he was thinking about, making this musical. He had been trying to make a musical that wasn't gaining any traction, and he suddenly has this idea, and he starts envisioning all of these old Broadway people that are part of his dream of putting this new thing together and making it happen. And to see people like Bernadette Peters and Cheetah Rivera and people like that, that are all there on the stage with him as he's having this, as Andrew Garfield is having this kind of daydream.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
That is really cool. Well, of course, we could probably go on and on and on and on, but we can't go on and on. So, do you share your love of this anywhere? Can people connect with you on this?
Well, I've been a little bit delinquent about sharing my reviews or my comments about movies, but I do have an Instagram handle. It's Cherry-O Pics, and you helped me, with that.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit behind, but I have been keeping a list on my notes in my phone, and I will be.
Yeah,
catching
update
up.
that because I love the layers of perspective that you have when you're talking about something because of those little facts or the connections or whatever it is, your insight to something. Sometimes it's the reason why I've watched something. Yeah.
Well, interesting. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Are you kidding? You have such an interesting perspective on things and insight to things. And so, it makes it like, oh, I'm curious, like what she saw and if I agree and whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
All right. So, Vance.
Yes.
So, stick around.
Okay.
We're going to take a break and then we are going to talk about what we're eating
All
from
right.
Dingfelder's Delicatessen. So, stick around. We'll be right back with more Don't Ask Me to Talk. Don't ask me to talk. Stacy Connects. It's not just my business, it's my superpower. Whether you need the right tone and messaging for a new venture or you've plateaued with your current one, I can help. I connect clients with themselves and their potential. Then I identify unique solutions that translate your brand into messaging that connects your target audience with your business. Go to stacyconnects.com to connect with me and your messaging.
We're back. We are back with Vance. Since we don't have a lot of time, he needs no introduction. Vance Dingfelder, tell us what we're eating.
What are we eating? Well, I'll tell you what we're eating. Since it is National Rotisserie Chicken Day, why don't you come down to Dingfelder's and get yourself a kosher roasted lemon herb chicken. It's the best deal in Seattle. We only charge $24 for a kosher chicken, a whole chicken.
A whole chicken.
Kosher chicken.
Damn. I want in on that.
They probably charge $24 in the grocery store for a raw one. But on another note, since you're probably having a graduation, and the grads aren't really.
That's coming up June. It's dads and grads, as they say, right?
Coming right up,
yeah.
And so a good way to feed a lot of people, especially kids or adults, even, is to get a giant sandwich. A giant hero sandwich from Dingfelder's Delicatessen. It's amazing. It's the best value you can get out of a 3-foot sandwich, 54 pieces.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really the way to go.
I've had that sandwich.
You ate 3 feet of sandwich, Stacy?
I mean, a man, it's not polite to comment on what a woman eats.
Oh, sorry. I was just surprised. That seems like a lot of food.
That's a lot of sandwich.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I've had your sandwich and it's delicious. And the 54 pieces that you're talking about, like, it's not like a bite. Like, it's like...
It's so there's enough on that piece that most people just eat one.
Yeah.
Okay. It's definitely more than enough for one. If you're really hungry, you'll have two. And if you're a gavon, you'll have three. Okay.
Or 3 feet if you're really hungry.
So honestly, those are the best value, and they're so good. We have 4 different types. We've got the bada ding, which is sopressata, capicola, fresh mozz, roasted peppers, salami. You know how it is, right?
Forget about it.
Great provolone. Hey, forget about it. Then there's a traditional deli, which is, the American style: roast beef, turkey, corned beef, roast beef, turkey, salami, bologna, cheddar, and Swiss. And they all come with garnishes like a muffalata or peppers and oil, vinegar, lettuce, tomato. And then you can get the Seattle situation, which is deli, all day, all the time. Pastrami, corned beef, brisket, salami, and a little tongue. And now you got meatless.
That's very...
Yeah,
that's kind of presumptuous.
I couldn't just swoop by the tongue.
Sense is key. It's 2022.
I've never had tongue on a sandwich. The idea of a sandwich tasting me back just never appealed to me. But
what makes your taste buds? It's like collagen for you. Okay, it makes your taste buds stronger when you eat tongue. Why do you think people love tongue so much?
I don't know.
I'll have to try it.
Meatless in Seattle, okay, is the 4th one. And meatless in Seattle is the caprese with fresh mozz, pesto, sliced organic heirloom tomatoes, and some basil on an amazing herb focaccia. It's a great meatless sandwich and a good alternative for all the vegetarians. So next time you're thinking a party or something big, Dingfelder's Delicatessen can take care of you with their giant hero sandwiches.
Way to be the hero.
Stacy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, always. It's a pleasure.
Oh, man, I'm starving now. Every single week.
We literally say this every week, and it's why we have finally learned to save it for the end of the show, because I can pretty much go from the studio into Dingfelder's Delicatessen. So thanks a lot, Vance. Cherry, thank you for being a guest.
Of course.
Remember, you can see Cheerio pics on Instagram for her suggestions, and you can also check out Active Transformation. That is her coaching business.
Yes.
And we need to figure out what we're going to talk about next time.
Let's do it. Okay, so it's hike.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, let's stick with it.
Yeah.
And actually, maybe some people...
So maybe we can broaden this so that it's like great hikes that you can take here in the Northwest.
Let's
or
do it.
Anywhere in the world, really. But, specifically, this is where I would hike.
All right. And you know what? Let's see if we can get some listener interaction. So go ahead and text us or call.
Tell us your favorite hike.
Exactly. 475-999-2726 or 475-999-BRAN.
Yes.
Like the muffin, which you probably don't want to take with you hiking. So thanks for listening, and please share with us what your favorite hikes are around the area, around the country, around the world. Thanks, Cherry.
Of course.